Hi, Kevin Henry with Dental Economics, here today at the SCN meeting in Frisco, Texas. And I'm talking to Katherine Eitel, practice management consultant. And Katherine and I were talking a few minutes ago before we went on camera about how that a lot of dental practices and dental team members are frustrated when something new is brought into the practice. And you've obviously seen that in a lot of practices that you've worked with. Talk about some of those frustrations and some of the ways that you're trying to help with that.
Sure. Well, as a practice management consultant for 20 years, what I know is I did it really wrong for the first 10 at least, and that was to bring all this great information, all this great training, all this great new learning to the team, and did what we call in trainer speak fire hosing our audience, our participants, with all of this new information. And a lot of times they love the information and they're not really resistant to the information, but we give it to them in such volume and at such speed because it's easy for us and we understand it, that they hear it but they don't interpret it or actually make the change. So, of course, doctors became frustrated that they paid a lot of money for consulting. The consultant left, no results. So, no results that stuck. So, no retention of the information. So, over the years, we've developed tools to become better teachers and get higher retention. Those are review tools. Those are testing tools to give a little piece of our information, review it, test it, have some fun with that, sort of turn it into some games. And then what happened was our results went through the roof in terms of how much retention we got and where we could see while the teacher was still here where the holes were, and I could fill them before we left.
Nice.
So what we found is that office managers and doctors are now reaching out and other consultants to say, can we get some of those tools so that when you're gone, or even if they have another trainer or consultant, or they go to a convention themselves and they're bringing this information back from a practice management course or a local dental convention, or even if they're getting things like digital x-ray or a new software and they've had trainers come in. Anytime they're getting new information in a big dose, these training tools we developed, they're in a game format, but it's definitely not gratuitous play. It's definitely play with a purpose, and the purpose is a little information. You have some fun reviewing it, make sure everybody's got it, then you test it, kind of closed book. If everybody can do it, we move on to the next piece of information. If they can't do it, we now know. Gotcha. Why would we add another layer? We don't have the first layer, right? Okay. So we learn that, and they have some fun, and they stop dreading team meetings. Gotcha. Where they're going to take copious notes and it's boring, and so we're basically giving dentists and office managers and practice administrators some of the tools that consultants use to create some fun but create much better learning and much higher retention.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I know one of the things that you mentioned in passing, and I hear a lot of frustrations about, are you're right, the doctor goes to a meeting and then tries to bring the team up to date, and you just can't, it can't be done.
It's the glassed over look within, well, what we know about the adult brain is about every 20 minutes, you can hold their attention for 90, that's what the science shows us. You can hold attention for 90, but you only get retention for 20. So if you're talking to your team longer than 20 minutes, so even in a 2-hour staff meeting, you have several 20-minute chunks, but only a few. So every 20 minutes, a really good trainer will stop talking and will let them start getting their hands or their verbal skills on that. And even if they're just using one of these tools to turn to a partner and say, what do you think about that new technique, or what do you think about that new verbal skill, or that new policy, or whatever it is we're implementing. And so we've just found that these tools take that away. We show them how to do role play in a way that people don't resist it. It becomes a lot more fun and a lot less scary, things like that. So we're hoping these tools will help dentists and practice administrators just do a better job of getting their people excited about their team meetings and the retention to go up of their material.
Okay. And tell our viewers how they can receive these.
They can go to our website, which is lionesslearning.com, or katherineeitel.com, which is Katherine, and then another E. Eitel is E-I-T-E-L, so katherineeitel.com, or Lioness Learning, which may be easier.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Katherine. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
your time.
Thanks for the opportunity.